Hello everybody, welcome back to Bilattice. I cannot recall which puzzles we were doing most recently, so we're going to take a quick squiz through the tour. I would love to do this one, so that we can get through this portal. What do we have here? Premonition. Lots of arrows, but probably something we can work with. So, could be a long solve, but I'm here for it. We're getting deeper into the game now. It's going to take a little bit longer to get through some of these puzzles. Arrows point at areas that indicate an increase in their zone size. So if this is white and these are dark, or however you want to name them, if these are ones and these are zeros, this encompasses these zeros. So if I do something like this, I'm just trying to get this 6 to be 6. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but then it would also take up these, so it would become basically the whole thing, right? Well, it doesn't give me the numbers on my successes and failures, so we're going to need to find a bit of logic to start with, I think. This 3 seems like a sensible place to start. That's 3. And that is 4. No, that would be 5 because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what else can we do? This 6 here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I think. But that's not going to work. I might need to put help stuff on just for this one to get us through, because without the indicators... So, show correct symbols, show counter subtext. Let's just go for the counter subtext and see how that changes things a second. That does not help me. Okay. We do that as well. Alright, so we'll keep those on for this puzzle and then we'll turn them off immediately afterwards. What else can we work with then? Premonition. Don't really know how that helps me. That, just following the arrows, doesn't do anything special. This can't work because it blocks off the 3. We've got this pair of 4s in the corner. Are they going to be part of the same zone? This becomes a 5, which doesn't work out. The 4s are happy up here because you have the 4 running across the top. Then this 4 takes 1, 2, 3, and this 4th tile. This 6 becomes happy because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because it doesn't cross over this boundary to the next arrow. So can I make this 6 and 3 happy at the same time? If I add this... This is now 8. Because we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I feel like this top corner is kind of good, but I don't know what to do with this 6 right now. This 4 is happy. If I just colour that in, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is far too high. Of course, this arrangement that I've walked into could be entirely wrong. That's too much. The 6 is now happy and the 3 is not. That's even more interesting. Like, is there something small I can manipulate here? Because this makes all of this broken, because this is now counting 5. So this 6 is just part of a group of 6 because it doesn't actually involve any of the arrows, because the arrows are a different color to the 6. That breaks everything. I don't know what to do with this 3. How else could we change the top end? I did something like this. Then the 4s are no longer happy because they're both 3s. That makes the 4 happies, and the 6s are now unhappy. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That makes that 6 good. This 3 is now going 1, 2, 3, 4, which it doesn't want. That makes the 4s happy again. This 6 is working against the flow of this arrow, so that needs to be bigger for that 6, but that ruins that one. This loop here with the arrows isn't really doing anything if nothing is connected to them directly. What else can we do? The name Premonition feels like it should mean something to me here, but I can't see it being actively involved in anything. Alright, let's undo this. Let's see what we can do with this 3 instead, because it's going to need a group of its own one way or the other, so we might as well find something that it can start with. That's valid. Then if this 6 wants more, we might have to do that. So this is 1, 2, 3... Can't do this because it makes the 4s far too large. That's good. So what doesn't this 6 like? This 6 is having problems because this arrow is pointing at this, which is pointing at that, I think. This is happy because it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If this is just too large, can I cull out some of its space? This is 7 now, but I can't remove 1 from its location. That's down to 5. These are both broken now. 9 and 4. I don't want to use these 2 because then the 4s will become much larger. I'm wondering if there's some kind of pairing here that can keep all the 6s in check. It's now at 8, 7, 9, 7, 9. Far too large with this encompassing all of this. 9 and 8. Too large. Where can we change this 6? Because this 6, it could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I do that, this 6 is happy. This 5 is no longer happy. If I do that, this 6 is happy, this 3 is happy. This is now too large for this 6, though. This 4 needs 1 more. And this one needs 1 less. Hold on. Perhaps this 4 can exist in a self-fulfilling cycle there. This 4 now becomes 4 in empty tiles. This 6 can be okay if this 4 is not. How can I get this 6 to be happy? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I want this 4 not to be able to loop around this arrow. If I could do that in some way, making the 6 work out as well, we'd be golden. I can't do this, that makes this massive. This gets caught out on its own though, and that is far too large because then this is one contiguous space. That makes the 4 happy. That breaks this 6. This 4 is now seeing this zone, which it doesn't want to. That gets to everything back again, apart from this 6. This 6 is currently seeing this tile, and then counting along to here. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I do this, this is down to... wait. This is 8 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then these don't double count as they go around in the spin cycle. Okay, we don't have to have this highlighted. However, it makes this 4 massive if we do. So really we want this to be a different color than that. And then we're back to the 6 on the left again. What can I do with the 6 on the left? This is 5. This then consumes that, which is far too large. And if I make the 6 bigger, I also make the 4 bigger, which is no good to me. That makes that happy, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That makes the 4s break. 7 is so close. This doesn't change anything then, so this 6 is still at 7. Needs 1 fewer. If I take this off, this is still 7, because this doesn't cut through the arrow, of course. And I'm back to these two not being friends. Now you're alone. That makes you too large because you cut through this whole section here. Why can't I get this 6? this 6 and this arrow are together. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is too large. If I do this, these both become too large. If I remove that, these become 8s, because this arrow is pointing at this. And these are now 6s all together. And then I'm back down to this 3 being in just far too large a gap. Can I work with the arrows in the negative spaces separate from the 3s and the 4s to make some kind of grouping here? Well, I have to stay away from the 3s. And this is all far, far too large. So let's try and make both of the 6s happy at the same time then, using as few tiles as possible so we have more flexibility for everything else. This is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6 for both. No, because this can't count backwards past the arrow. So that's 6 for both. Sure. That's 3 for 3. What can I do with these 4s? I can do that. But then this is 5 because... Why is that 5 instead of 6 when I do this instead of that? Because we don't pick up this tile. So I need to pick up this left-hand swing instead of this. Yeah, because if I cut this, this doesn't go all the way around the horseshoe. If I do that, it doesn't pick up an extra tile. So how can I do the 4s in this giant space? If I do this, they pick up too many tiles. So I can do that for the 3. That makes the 4s happy because we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 back on ourselves. Oh, the 3 is now going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that can't be it. That makes the 3 happy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be too much. No, you're at 9. Now you're at 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But I can't really remove 3 here. If I do this, it just gets caught up into this giant section here for 7, which we've seen before, I think. But I can't remove 1 from this location without adding 1 elsewhere for the 3, and then that breaks a lot of other stuff. That breaks both the 6s. That's just making the space larger. This doesn't work because this arrow is consuming a load of other space. Ah! There's like one thing I'm missing somewhere here, isn't there? One tiny thing, probably. Or I'm like, I've found 2 almost solutions that are both way off. That's entirely possible. Seven here. going through these 2 arrows. If I cut this 4 off, but out of that, this 4 is still happy. This is still at 7. Now you're at 6. Everything else is happy. If I manipulate this 4 section, we manipulate the 6 section, which is obviously not great. Because this makes the 6s just massive. That makes everything happy except this 6, which is seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, or I might have counted that one twice, but either way it's way too much. If I unhighlight you, the 3 is then far too large. But this is happy. If I do this, the 3 becomes a 4, and this becomes unhappy. Why can't I get all the numbers to be the numbers I want them to be? Glad I didn't try and do this without the hints. Otherwise, I would have been here forever, clearly. The 4 is straight along. This 4 is in its little loop. This 6 is just a 2, like a 3 dominoes. This is 1, 2, and 4. And this 6 is just a wide open 6. Interesting. Oh, thank God. So this arrow wasn't doing any kind of good to me. This 4 was taking 4, but if I inverted this arrow, this 4 still consumes it, which is exactly what we needed. Okay, let's go back to the settings, set those to when recommended. And then we have, was it this one? Must be. Flow Chaos. Diagonal. That's simple enough. The 3 counts itself, counts this as 2, and then this one empty cell makes 3, and we invert this to cut this cell off from the others. Double arrows. I assume this is going to cover either count this twice or count it 2 steps over. If I do that as 2, yeah. So this is just a domino of 2. Then this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think it just hops over to 2 tiles across. Double arrows 2. So this is going to hop over to 1, 2. And if I want this to be 5 and this to be 5, we can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Why not? 1, 2. Oh, because these 2 don't count across the corner. So this goes 1, 2, 3, 4 instead. So this is counting a 2 here for that 5 and a 2 there for that 5 plus the additional 3. So just before we get lost into those, this has 2 single arrows in it. I'm just trying to think of where we might have seen other double arrows in places. Arrows pointing against each other here. Let's give this a little go, because we spent ages on that one complicated puzzle. I'll save the bracketed puzzle sets for next video in that new lane that we've just created. But with double arrows here, we might be able to do some work. So, only one of these and 2 of these. All the eyes are pointing in the directions I would expect. So this bottom lane is going to be all but 1, but the 6s need to be accounted for. Could it be some kind of inversion? Well, we have this one here and this 3 here. The only way that this 1 doesn't exist in this row is if the 3 are on the right hand side. Then that frees up the 1 to be in one of these positions. But is that the case? There's a 75% chance that it's not, apart from the fact that there is one solution, obviously. So those are both 6s, except this 2 can't have all 3 of these. But those are both 6s. This has 2. That can go to there. This needs 2. Can't do that because this 1 already has 1. Another where the hints being absent is not awfully helpful. I kind of assume that these 2 are going to be opposite colours. So we're going to either do this, or this, or this, and make 2 different coloured sections that they can then point at one another. The 2 is interesting because it's either going to be this, this, or this, or of course the inverted of that. Because the inverted solve isn't correct as the original solve because the eyes mean that it doesn't have like a inverted solution. The eyes have to be accommodated for. And if this is true, this is true. Now, here's the thing. This arrow pointing at this arrow, is it actually doing... So if I put this 6 here, it's counting 1, 2, 3, but it won't count this one as 4 because you can't go past another arrow's boundaries, right? So I think both of these 6s are satisfied by this arrangement. That would be 2. But this 6 needs... sorry, this 3 needs 1 more. And then this 6 is obviously too large. But the arrows pointing at each other, I think, only add 1 additional cell to the area that they're pointing at, which is the 1 cell that the arrow exists in. It's just kind of a +1 box rather than a 2 larger contiguous zones box. So if that's true, this 6 can't be the same color as this arrow because we can only have 2 of this. I mean, it could be that, I suppose. But then this has 1 and that's 2, so it can't be that. That 2's happy. That 6 is happy. Except this 6 can't be happy because I need to consume at least 1 more of these tiles. This 2 is happy, this 2 is happy, this 3 still isn't happy. This 3 at the bottom is really throwing me for a loop. I if this column is going to have 1, then if it's the 6, it's going to be cause for a lot more colouring elsewhere. But all of that colouring has to happen to the right, because this 1 means that this has to sit alone, proud, if it is one that is selected. And then we have to figure out a way to set this 2 to be in its own space. Which we can't do like this, because this one gets the additional 1. So I don't think this 6 can be proud. So I think that one's not lit. So if this is empty, then a lot of other stuff around it is going to need to be empty. That sets the 2 off to be alone. But 3 across the bottom is just so many. I'm going to do hints again. If I could navigate the menus. Ah! Where are we? Nope. Yeah. Right. So with our extra indicators now, does that teach me any more? This is 3, this is 4, this is still 3, that's still 3. That's what I expected. That makes the 2 6s happy. That makes the 2 happy and the 6 happy. It's just this 3 then and this 2 have too much stuff. Again, this 3 doesn't now have enough stuff. So it's the bottom row that's really throwing me for a loop. This 2 needs one of those arrangements or an inverted arrangement. And this just acts as a +1 for what's on the other side of it. So how can we accommodate all these 6s? This has 1, this has 3, this has 2, this has 2. This 6 needs more tiles directly around it. This 2 can't take that on, or that on, or that on. How can I give this 6 an additional tile? This column needs an additional 1. Ah! Damn you, 6. So let's try and just make this 6 happy in some way. Can't be that because we only need 1 on the left-hand side. This width has only 2, so it can't be anything like that. Bottom needs an additional 1. You've got 2. You need an additional 1. This doesn't care about being lit or not. Then this 2 makes this 6 too large. Now this 6 is only 1. Oh my god. So many knock-on effects of every little thing that you do. Now last time we solved it by having one of the arrows not putting it itself into a loop, but I think whichever way you have these lit, they always consume themselves as an extra tile, so it doesn't really matter apart from the things bordering them being lit or not. And then it's going to come down to the eyes doing what they need to do. So what if I ignore kind of the rest of the puzzle and just try and manipulate different ways that the eyes can exist? Because it's only these 2 tiles and these 2 tiles that are not dictated by eyes at all. So that accommodates all the eyes. But then the 2 just becomes a nightmare at that rate. We can spend a period of time, say, trying to solve it with that 2 resolved in that direction. Then that 6 becomes unhappy. Can't have this column having 2 1s. These ones need 1 additional each. I can't put it here. This has 2, this has 3. This has 3 instead of 2, which is too many. Oh, and I'd really like to get this solved today. This column now just has way too much going on in it. This 2, and just figuring out how we can encompass it correctly. Can't have 3 on the left hand side. There's so many things that I feel like should limit me comfortably towards a solution, and then they don't. One of these, 2 of these, 2 of these, 3 of those. This 6 then isn't happy. This 2, oh, this 2 definitely is not happy. Alright, I'm going to have to give up for the day. I apologise for keeping you so long and not giving you a satisfactory conclusion. But now though, thank you ever so much for watching. If you did stick around, join me in a couple of days for the next Bilattice. Otherwise, have yourself a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.